Good morning. So many of you know that we're doing the Paul Mesner puppet auction. Paul Mesner's been a landmark in Kansas City for close to 40 years. Puppeteer, business owner, does some amazing things. Does really great things in the city. Has had done shows forever. Many of you know that he's retired, and we're selling off a lot of his things, including the piece that's getting the most attention is Oscar the Grouch here, in his garbage can that is mechanical and works all the way. Super fun piece. Sat in the window, and you can tell that his paws are a little faded. They should have a much darker green to them, like Oscar when he pops his head up again. See how he's, his face is much greener than his paws. It's still a neat, fun piece. So I'm just going to walk through the building, kind of show you what's in the auction. If you have any questions, post them below. This huge life-size dragon is really fun. Again, I'm about 6 foot tall, and he's almost a foot taller than I am. There are pieces all around, throughout, and in the auction in the building. Marionettes. There are puppets. There are figures. This is a really fun one, the Terrapins. He used to take this down to New Orleans and do this show for schools in New Orleans. And this comes with this display case if you want it. If not, that whole center section comes up as a separate piece. There's a lot of set pieces, decor. Some are fun. You could use for a lot of different things, like those trees. This little stage window, theater window is really fun. I'm sure you did puppet shows in that. It has like a 1930s Spanish revival look to it. Strega, I think this is the Strega Nova show. Huge set. Security guards are fun. This is the Yardbirds from Charlie Parker. There are 6 figures all told. I love this piece right here. Well, not this piece, but this huge rack here. It looks like a church choir, right? Especially with the angels on the top row. There's lots of different lots in here. There's witches. There's different pieces. Harry Potter was part of the witches in one of the shows. Just a lot of neat pieces. And Paul was very cognizant of being diverse with his puppets. And so there's a lot of different colors and tones and textures to his different roles. And then there's fantasy, like the double-headed dragon marionette, which is something like 8 or 10 feet long. This is hanging from the ceiling. He has 3 big control mechanisms. Needed several people to work that, but a lot of fun. Again, more set pieces just backstage. Great big. This is on canvas, so this one can be transported pretty easily. The frame is, frame molding that's been pieced together. But a nice, just an interesting big mural, basically, with the castles. And then there's a few more pieces like that over here. Let me go ahead and cut through the kitchen. And we're going to head to the workshop as I cut through the kitchen. They worked on, obviously, they created puppets here, marionettes here, and they needed a space to create and also repair and work and change. A lot of these puppets were used for different shows over the years, and so they would have different costumes. Some of them have multiple costumes on them. You can take the top layer off for an earlier show. And so back here we are in the workshop, and there are some really fun pieces. I love this is all marionettes back here, I believe. The jellyfish are fun. There's all kinds of neat pieces. Pink Flamingo. A lot of heads can move up and down in different shows. The Salvation Army girl is interesting. These are fun. The heads on these, they're wound, I think. Oh, no. Well, the heads slide up and down. The pictures show that very clearly. Have the clown band that's interesting. The roller skating clown is a lot of fun. And of course, these are long strings. But a lot of them, like the roller skating clown, all of his appendages, arms and legs and the umbrella move up and down. So you can really make him look like he's skating if you were talented enough to do so. Ebenezer Scrooge, the Christmas tree is kind of fun. There's also some really fun pieces here. There was the frame of a cow that never got finished. These are early gingerbread backdrop pieces, gingerbread boys and girls. These were great, but they were made out of styrofoam basically, and you can see that some of the gumdrops would pop off and the eyes would pop off, and so they went to 2-dimensional, flat, which obviously took up a lot less space in the truck, and there was nothing to fall off. The horses aren't puppets per se, but they're carousel, like the dime store carousel horses. They're fiberglass. They both have damage, but they're a lot of fun and can be used for lots of different things. Tiny Tim is in a box for some reason. Pretty interesting pieces there, and love the elephants. So we're going to walk into one more room here and show you the majority of the puppets. This is the big theater room here in the building. We're over on Troost in Paul's building, the place where he'd worked for many, many years. Pickup will be from here. Shipping will be organized from here. So if you're looking at this from across the country, this is what the UPS store will come to. If you're going to drive here, if you're picking up locally, this is where you will come. And I'll make sure I get a picture of the Paul Mesner sign out front. But you can see that this room, all around the top of the room, there are these smaller shows with the backdrops and everything else that are selling as these units, these small units to get combined on the show here on the wall. And then this big architectural piece is kind of fun. Crichter, the boa constrictor, and all kinds of fun pieces hanging up. And they're really fun display pieces. Of course, so graphic and so much life going on in these. Paul was such a great storyteller with his characters, and of course as a performer as well. On the stage, these are all shows worth of puppets in crates. So Bluebell, Lot 88, we photographed all of these pieces out and put them back in the box. Makes obviously picking them up much, much easier. So you want to make sure you look through all of the pictures, because there's a lot. Most of these groups have multiple figures, and some boxes have accessories in them, and some have, miscellaneous figures in them. So you want to make sure you look through all of the imagery, all the pictures online, to see what's being included. Go Dog Go is a big set here, and lots of bikes and the backdrops, and these two big totes are full, and that big box on the ground is full of pieces from Go Dog Go. All kinds of shows. He does such a wide range of shows, and you see that looking through. There are some individuals like the Native American headdress. The chief right there is fun. The Mikado is his biggest show by puppets. There are 23, I believe, and here is the Mikado himself. But these are amazing. Look at the detail. Look at the paint work on them, the costume work on these. They're all just wonderful, wonderful pieces, and really fun. And just a huge set, ready to either be used or displayed in a museum, however you want to do. I love the birds. Oh, the party tree at the end of Go Dog Go. We sold that separately. It's such a large piece, and it's such an iconic piece on its own. The Goblins from Henschel and the Goblins we sold separately. This is a Charlie Parker set, which is a fun little group. Peter and the Wolf. All kinds of good things here. I'm going to make sure I don't step on other things as I'm walking through. I don't recognize those characters. Alright. As we go around this corner. See, they're different sizes. These are only a couple of feet tall, and then we have, the Little Prince. These are much larger. The Mikado are very large. And so you gotta make sure you look at the measurements. We did our best to try and show scale. I went pictures of a lot of these, but make sure you look at the descriptions really closely. And you can tell there's different types. Like these are obviously different artists created these than the Mikado, right? These are much larger, more caricature-ish. The Mikado has a smaller human-sized head, but the eyes are bigger in proportion to the Mikado than these are. So a lot of interesting details to notice as you look through everything. And of course, lots of backdrop, lots of stage decor being sold, generally by show, if the show was known. Peter Rabbit's show right up there with the backdrop and everything is a great little piece. Beauty and the Beast over here. Beauty is on the stage, but the pages actually turn as part of the show, and so that's kind of a neat thing. You can see the end right there. Let me walk through here. See, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like 5 different pages per se. The sheets of plywood that are painted on both sides are artist board. And so, as different parts of the story come along, There's different pages that would be flipped open for the show. Lots of miscellaneous parts and pieces. Again, just a lot of neat pieces. It's hard to really quantify. You know, here I am. So here's the mirror in the theater room right here. You can see that the Mikado pieces behind me are way bigger than I am, right? And I'm basically 6 foot tall, and the Mikado right there is another foot and a half taller than I am. You see us right there in the center of your picture. So it's just a lot of fun. It also gives you kind of a scale imagery, right, of the sets above. These are all going to be between 4 and 6 feet tall, and 4 to 8 to 10 feet wide, kind of a thing. They all break down, obviously, fold down to smaller sections. But think of plywood. Plywood was used for a lot of these, and so that's kind of the basis for a lot of different, like the maximum sizes he would use. So that's kind of it. The auction's Monday night. Hope that if you like this, great. If you know people who would like it, this is such a unique opportunity to buy something like this directly from the artist and person who created it all. And these opportunities come up very often in any industry, and much less often in the puppetry world. We have several museums already interested, but if you know of others or major collectors, please share this with those folks. If you're watching me live Friday morning, Behind the Gavel with Jason starts up again today with guests. I have Dwayne Cerny on today talking about his book, Selling Dead People's Things. Paul's not dead, but it's a fascinating book, and Dwayne's a fascinating person. So if you have questions about this auction, let us know. If you have questions about anything else we're doing, let us know. Post a message here, drop us an email, info@kcauctioncompany.com, drop us a phone call, 816-283-3633. We'll have to answer questions about this auction, auctions coming up, or anything else associated with the KC Auction Appraisal Company. Have a great afternoon, great day, and we'll talk to you all soon.